Jacksonville Jaguars won 13 games last season, and the rest of the NFL still refuses to take them seriously. Head coach Liam Cohen walked into a 4-win roster and turned it into an AFC South champion in 1 year. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence bounced back and finished 5th in MVP voting. The scariest part for the rest of the league is a former 2nd overall pick who played only 6 games as a rookie and is finally healthy. Nobody is planning for what he does across a full season. The offense returns almost every important piece. Brian Thomas Jr. posted 1,282 yards and 10 touchdowns as a rookie before a rough second season. Jakobi Meyers arrived in a midseason trade and stabilized the whole passing game. Parker Washington broke out and led the team in receiving. Then general manager James Gladstone did something strange. He let 2 former first-round picks leave in free agency and signed almost nobody to replace them. It looks like a mistake, and the reason it is not one changes everything. The defense led the entire NFL in rush defense and ranked 2nd in takeaways. Edge rushers Josh Hines-Allen and Travon Walker anchor the front, and veteran Arik Armstead brings the interior push. Yet when ESPN polled coaches and scouts for the top 10 at every position, this 13-win team placed 0 current players on a single list. 0. A group this talented getting ignored. This completely tells you something about the season coming. The evidence starts with the man everyone wrote off last winter. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Jaguars and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. Brian Thomas Jr. entered the NFL as one of the best rookie receivers in a decade. The 23rd overall pick out of LSU caught 87 passes for 1,282 yards and 10 touchdowns, finishing 4th in Offensive Rookie of the Year voting. Then the second season fell apart. He caught 48 passes for 707 yards and 2 touchdowns across 14 games. His 14.3% drop rate ranked 6th worst among qualified receivers. The talent never left. The connection did. The explanation sits in the details most people skipped. Thomas played through ankle, shoulder, and wrist injuries for most of the year. His average target depth climbed while his role shrank, and the offense leaned on steadier options once Jakobi Meyers arrived and Parker Washington emerged. Cohen has spent this offseason rebuilding the chemistry piece by piece, describing a more intentional approach to reps with his young receiver. He was still the only receiver in the league to hit 22 miles per hour as a ball carrier last season. The late season film told a kinder story as he looked sharper down the stretch. Once the injuries eased, health changes the whole equation. Thomas turned 23 this offseason and entered the program fully healthy for the first time since his rookie year. Cohen praised his mindset and his willingness to attack the corrections. The Jaguars refused every trade call, with Gladstone dismissing the rumors outright. A receiver who runs like that, catches like he did in 2024, and now has a full season with the same quarterback and the same system, becomes the most dangerous piece on the field. The defense might be the real story, though. The Jacksonville defense owned one number nobody expected. This unit finished 1st in the entire NFL against the run and 2nd in takeaways. Opponents failed to move the ball on the ground and paid for every risk they took through the air all season long. Anthony Campanile built a front that swallowed running backs whole. The Jaguars allowed under 20 points per game and ranked 8th in scoring defense. The offense held up its end too, finishing 6th in scoring and 4th in point differential at plus 138. On paper, this looked like a top 5 unit. One glaring weakness kept it from getting there. The pass rush stalled. Despite 3 former top 10 picks on the defensive line, the Jaguars ranked 27th in the NFL with 32 sacks. Josh Hines-Allen and Travon Walker combined for 11.5 of them, and Arik Armstead added 5.5 from the interior. The pressure came, but the finish did not. Jacksonville extended Walker on a $110 million deal and kept its bookends together, betting the answer was internal growth and better depth behind them. The fixes arrived quietly. The Jaguars added young rushers like Danny Strigu and Wesley Williams and leaned on Dennis Gardeck to attack in sub-packages. Armstead turned 32 this year, so the plan is fewer snaps and more force on every one of them. If the interior push improves on early downs, Hines Allen and Walker stop working alone. A front seven, this stout against the run with even league average pass rush, becomes a nightmare. And the biggest surprise on this roster has nothing to do with the line. Here's the number nobody saw coming. A receiver who posted 1,282 yards as a rookie is fighting for targets. The Jacksonville receiver room got so deep so fast that Brian Thomas Jr., Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington, and Travis Hunter all need the ball, and there is only one football. Myers owns 5 straight 800-yard seasons, including a 1,027-yard year in 2024. Washington led the team in receiving, and Myers posted a 78.2 receiving grade from Week 10 through the finale after arriving. That kind of logjam breaks most defenses. This one thrives on it. Then 2 rookie receivers started turning heads through the OTAs. The Jaguars spent 6th-round picks on C.J. Williams out of Stanford and Josh Cameron out of Baylor, and both kept climbing through the spring. Williams brings size, strong hands, and change of direction at 6'1". Cameron adds special teams value at 220 pounds. On most rosters, late-round receivers with momentum earn a job. Here they are trying to crack a room already stacked with proven starters, and the coaches have noticed both. The depth means something bigger than a camp battle. Coordinators cannot double Thomas without freeing Myers. They cannot bracket Myers without leaving Washington singled up. And Travis Hunter floats between offense and defense as a piece no scheme has a clean answer for. Cohen now holds the one thing his first season lacked, which is options at every level of the field. The Jaguars will spread the ball from game to game instead of forcing it to one man. The full depth chart tells the rest of the story. Start in the backfield, where the Jaguars rebuilt on the fly. Travis Etienne Jr. signed a $48 million deal with New Orleans, and Jacksonville replaced him with a committee. Paishul Tutin leads the group after a promising rookie year. Veteran Chris Rodriguez Jr. signed a 2-year, $10 million contract to grind out the tough yards, and he played for Cohen at Kentucky. LaQuint Allen handles passing downs. Rodriguez finished 8th out of 58 qualified backs in yards after contact per carry last season, the exact trait Jacksonville wanted. It is a cheaper, deeper backfield, built to wear defenses down over 4 quarters. Now the piece the whole league forgot. Travis Hunter, the 2nd overall pick in 2025, played only 6 games before a knee injury ended his rookie season. Healthy, he is a two-way weapon who lines up at receiver and cornerback. A talent the NFL has not seen deployed like this in decades. The flashes came in that short window, and every one of them hinted at something rare. A full season of Hunter on both sides of the ball is the hidden variable no opponent has game planned for yet. The rest of the depth chart holds up. Trevor Lawrence returns behind a line anchored by Cole Van Lanen, freshly extended, and Anton Harrison at tackle. Brenton Strange got paid on a $48 million extension with $25 million guaranteed at tight end after a strong season. Ventrell Miller steps into a starting linebacker job next to Foya Oluokun. The concern is behind Lawrence, where Nick Mullins sits as the backup, and the margin gets thin if the starter misses time. Continuity carries this roster, and the schedule will test every layer of it. The AFC South runs through Jacksonville and Houston. The Texans went 12-5 last season and own the best defense in the division, with quarterback C.J. Stroud leading an offense working to catch up. These teams split last year, and one meeting still stings. Jacksonville took the first round 17-10 in Week 3. Then Houston erased a 19-point fourth quarter lead to beat the Jaguars 36-29, the last regular season loss Jacksonville took all year. The two rivals meet again, once in London and once in Houston, and the division likely swings on both. The rest of the division opened a door. The Colts sat at 8-2, and controlled the AFC South before collapsing, losing their final 7 games after quarterback Daniel Jones tore his Achilles. The Titans are still rebuilding and remain the softest matchup on the schedule. Jacksonville plays Tennessee twice and hosts Indianapolis, so the path to a second straight division title runs through games the Jaguars should win. Winning the division once was the breakthrough. Winning it twice would prove the first year was no accident. The full slate offers no mercy. Because they won the AFC South, the Jaguars drew a first-place schedule and face 5 2025 division champions, 3 of them inside the opening 5 weeks. They host the Browns in Week 1, then travel to Denver and host New England before 2 straight games in London against Philadelphia and Houston. A fast start against that gauntlet would silence the doubt immediately, and the doubt is exactly what makes this team so dangerous. Return to the decision that looked like a blunder. Gladstone let linebacker Devin Lloyd leave for Carolina on a $45 million deal and let ETN walk to New Orleans. He signed almost no outside free agents. Critics called it a wasted offseason for a 13-win team. The logic underneath was sharper than the headlines. Those departures line up compensatory draft picks, and the roster core was already built to keep every important homegrown piece in place. The real advantage hides in a single stat. 21 of the 32 NFL teams changed offensive coordinators this offseason. Jacksonville changed nothing. Trevor Lawrence enters the first offseason of his career without learning a new system or a new receiver group. Cohen, Anthony Campanile, and offensive coordinator Grant Udinski all return. For the first time, this quarterback gets to refine instead of rebuild, and the same voices coach the same players through a second year of the same scheme. Continuity is the reveal the whole offseason pointed toward. A young team that jumped from 4 wins to 13 usually regresses when the coaching carousel raids its staff. The Jaguars kept their coordinators, kept their core, and kept their identity. That is the payoff the quiet offseason was buying all along. Stability, where every rival found turnover. The floor that store Gladstone talked about raising is now the highest it has ever been. Which brings the story back to the disrespect nobody in that building has forgotten. Here's where the disrespect lands. ESPN polled coaches, scouts, and executives for the top 10 players at every position, and the Jacksonville Jaguars placed 0 current players on any list. A 13-win division champion with the top rush defense in football got shut out completely. Only the New Orleans Saints, a rebuilding team, shared that distinction. Trevor Lawrence finished 5th in MVP voting and did not crack the quarterback top 10. The message from around the league was loud, and this team heard all of it. So here's the prediction. This roster wins the AFC South again and pushes past 11 wins, and Brian Thomas Jr. returns to form as a top 15 receiver. The pass rush finds another gear, Travis Hunter becomes the most talked about two-way player in the sport, and the doubters spend the season walking back every ranking. Write this down. The Jaguars beat the Texans at least once and finished first in the division for the second year in a row. Disagreement is welcome. The debate belongs to you now. Drop your record prediction in the comments and tell me whether Thomas bounces back or the doubt was earned. Then subscribe before the next Jacksonville breakdown drops. Training camp is here, the pads are about to come on, and the questions about the pass rush and the backup quarterback get their first real answers on the practice field. The disrespect gave this team a target. The talent gives them a real shot to hit it. The next chapter starts the moment camp opens.